Hey everybody, it's Foxy with the forecast for this week. So we're in for an interesting week for sure. There's lots of strong aspects this week, lots of configurations that are going to hold their pattern pretty much all week long. We also have a new moon in Sagittarius, as well as Mercury going direct, and it could be an interesting week. So today starts out with Venus moving back into Scorpio. Now, Venus was in Scorpio earlier, then it went retrograde and went into Libra, which it rules Libra. So it's happy in Libra, but now it has gone direct and it's turned around, it's heading back, and now it's in Scorpio. And Mercury retrograde is also in Scorpio. So it could be a rough time for love relationships. It could be a difficult time for communications. So, it's going to be an interesting week. We also have a grand cross going on that involves the North and South Node in Cancer and Capricorn, as well as Venus moving into Scorpio and Uranus, which is at 29 degrees of Aries, and it is opposing Venus. And so Venus is all about desire and love and the things that we value. Uranus is all about breaking free. So this is a great time, and a lot of the summer we also were going through some of this discernment, letting things go, a lot of relationships breaking up, a lot of changes in the choices we make about the things that we value and we love. So that is going to continue, and tomorrow, Monday, the sun will be at 11 degrees of Sagittarius, squaring Mars at 11 degrees of Pisces, and Neptune is at 13 degrees, so it's in a tight conjunction with Mars. So it can be a bit of a difficult week for your immune system. I myself am just getting over the flu, and I have to say last week was a rough week for me. And some people experience energy as it's coming, some people experience energy once it's here, and some people experience energy as it's dissipating. I'm one of those people who experience it on the beginning end of the cycle. So I've already had my sickness, and I know a lot of other people have been sick. There's quite a bad strain of flu going around the country right here in the United States. And so if you haven't had your experience with it, it might be coming this week. Hopefully not. Tuesday, there's some harmonious trines going on, but again, we have all of this energy, and it's a compression. There's a lot of square energy going on. There's a lot of T-square energy, and these things are about building skills and making choices and having discernment around issues. So it could be a time where there's a lot of temperamentalness and emotions run high, and tempers are flaring for no reason, it will seem, but everybody is going to be a bit of a powder keg this week. So the other thing that's happening on Thursday is Mercury is stationing direct in Scorpio. Now, this is good news because when Mercury goes retrograde, oftentimes it can cause challenges with perception and challenges with communication, particularly technological communication, so texting, emailing, all kinds of things like that. It also is a wonderful time to go back and reflect over some things. And so some people really hate Mercury in retrograde. I've come to appreciate it because it gives us time to kind of go back over and redo things, rethink things, reevaluate things. And a lot of the things that we're rethinking, reevaluating right now have to do with money and love. And that involves our income, our earning potential, our relationships that are contractual with other people that we share money with, such as a marriage. Also, it has to do with what we really choose for ourselves in life and what we spend our time on. And so we may be changing some of the things that we want to dedicate our time to and our resources to, and that's completely okay. It's exactly what this time is about. As we move forward into 2020 and also 2019, which is coming up quickly, things are going to change dramatically. Uranus is going to move into Taurus for 7 years, and that is going to be a huge game changer. It was in Taurus earlier, and now it's retrograded back into Aries, but it's going to be heading back into Taurus in March 2019, which is really just right around the corner. So lots of changes coming up, and it's about determining what we're taking with us and what we're going to continue to dedicate our time and attention to. So this coming Friday, we have a new moon at 15 degrees Sagittarius. This is one of 7 new moons at 15 degrees. So that means that we have a lot of new beginnings for coming into this year, and as we move into the new year. So this is in Sagittarius, where Jupiter is. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Sagittarius, it's Sagittarius season because the sun is in Sagittarius right now. So if you were born in this time of year, you are a Sagittarius. I myself have a Sagittarius ascendant, which means the sun was rising when in Sag when I was born. And so I have a lot of Sagittarian qualities. So anytime you have an ascendant, it kind of dictates your identity or how you present yourself to the world, but not necessarily your true ego, which is really represented by your sun sign. So if you have a sun or an ascendant or a moon, which represents your emotional life in Sagittarius, this is going to be a really auspicious year for you because, again, Jupiter is going to be in Sagittarius for a year until next December. And so having a new moon in Sagittarius, new moons are all about new beginnings. So this is a great time for setting a new beginning. And Sagittarius is all about truth and wisdom and knowledge. It's oftentimes the most, considered one of the most spiritual houses. So a lot of times people who have a lot of activity going on, this rules the 9th house, by the way. If you have a lot of activity in your 9th house or you have a lot of Sagittarian activity, it could be that you're here for a spiritual mission. I often find a lot of people that I read for have their career in the 9th house, which means you're here for spiritual purposes, or for higher educational purposes, really acquiring knowledge and then sharing that knowledge. A lot of teachers have a lot of activity in the 9th house, teachers, mentors, professors, those types of people, because they're all about acquiring knowledge and then passing knowledge on. It's also about truth. And this is also about truth with yourself. And so there's going to be a lot of kind of meeting yourself this year and really determining what is true for you. And sometimes our truth changes because truth is colored by our perception of the world. And as our perception changes and we evolve, of course, the truth changes for us as well. So it's going to be a really interesting year for everybody, but particularly if you have your sun, your ascendant, or your moon sign in Sagittarius. So at this new moon, this is always a good time to let go of things. It's a good time to kind of create your intentions for what you're doing going forward. So you might want to take a look at your spiritual practice, what feeds your spirit, how you address your spirit, what the truth is in your life, how that's changed, how you define truth. And kind of take time to look at those things and maybe set some goals for yourself going forward in those areas of your life. And then next Saturday, we're going to have the sun at 16 degrees of Sagittarius, so it's at the midpoint of Sagittarius, and it's going to continue to square Mars at 14 degrees of Pisces, which is also still conjunct Neptune. So let's talk about this. This is something that's going on most of the week. So Mars conjunct Neptune. This is interesting and very epic energy because Mars is all about your passion and your drive in the world. Pisces is all about the spiritual, the psyche, the unseen. And Neptune rules Pisces, and it's in there, and it just went direct. So this is a lot of interesting energy, and really, if you have any creativity in your body, which we all do to some extent, but if you're a creative person, this week could be really tumultuous for you, but it could wind up with you having some kind of major artistic epiphany, whether that be in music or art or maybe writing. But this could be a really breakthrough week. It can also be a really challenging week. So one of the things I really stress to people is this is a really great week to really take care of yourself. This has been a great year for that. But this week in particular is a good week to really slow down, be the observer, Notice the feelings that you're having. Notice when you're getting upset. Notice when you have tempers flaring for no purpose, and you don't know why you're upset. Really take some time to calm down, slow down, and explore that. And the whole thing with the immune system, I mentioned it earlier, it could be that your body is forcing you to slow down and take notice of your truth so that you can really have this emotional, artistic, creative epiphany that we're all going to be experiencing as part of the collective unconscious. It's going to be an interesting week as we continue to move forward. We're getting ready to go into Capricorn season in another week or so, and it's going to be big. Saturn and Pluto are in Capricorn. There's a lot happening there. There's going to be a lot happening there for the next several years. And there's going to be a lot of changes to the structure of our life, our governments, the way our currency, just incredible transformation is coming. It's a really important time to be flexible. It's a really important time to maybe review some of the places where you aren't changeful in your nature and maybe examine those areas. It's a very, very interesting time that we're living in as we're moving into the age of Aquarius. And we all chose to be here at this time, so we all are here for a reason. So when things get tough, and they've been tough for a while, it's always a great time to take care of yourself, take a salt bath, maybe, spend some time with people who lift you up and who always make you smile and laugh. And since we're getting closer to the holidays, that might be an option for you as we get closer to having some time off before the beginning of the new year. So I wish you guys all a wonderful week. If you have any questions specifically about your chart and you're interested in knowing more, I am getting ready to publish kind of an outlook for 2019 with some of the more interesting and impactful dates for the year. And if you're interested in that, I will be posting more information on that as the week goes on. But anyway, if you need anything, if you're interested in what's going on in your own personal chart for 2019, don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can get in contact with me at feelingfoxyafter40.com. You can reach out to me on my Facebook page, feelingfoxyafter40.com, Astro Yoga. And I hope you all have a great week. Take care.